So you're curious when the best time to shop for auto insurance is. You're hearing all of the scare of the pandemic and that the rates went down, but now they're going up and the inflation is going crazy. There's a lot of truth to that, and we're going to dive into that in this video. But let's talk more specifically on the fact of why would you need to shop for car insurance. In most cases, the inflation is happening either way. We're seeing about a 5 to 10% increase across the board in insurance companies, along with a lot of our other items, food, groceries, gas, all of that is going up. And it's gotten to the point to where we have to budget correctly, otherwise we're just not going to make it financially. Now, that's not to say that all insurance companies are raising their rates. The increases are coming, and they have been coming for the last few months. I'm actually making a video about Geico raising their rates, and there's another company that I heard that Citizens is raising their rates, and State Farm is likely, and Allstate is likely, and a lot of your major players are going to follow suit with this because of the inflation. They have a lot of employees, they have a lot of expenses, they have a lot of claims. Insurance is one of those industries when claims start to happen, when customers are losing funds, when lawyers need to go after somebody, not to say that they're shady, but there are some bad eggs out there, that insurance tends to be one of the largest pools of money. And that's the quickest, easiest way to get a big payday, so to speak. There's a lot of fraud that's probably going to happen that's also going to cause those rates to increase. You may have seen on this channel that we've talked a lot about those tech companies like Root Insurance and all of the telematics and all of these special devices that companies are letting you purchasing policies right online directly. They're doing very little underwriting on the front end, and they're finding that, like what I said previously, is not everybody's truthful. A lot of people are joining those tech companies just to get in the door because they can file all these claims against them and find out what algorithm will pay them the most for something that they knew was already happening. So the first part you got to decide is, what does your budget look like? Do you even need to shop for car insurance? If the answer is yes, or you see a lot of these pieces over looming you and you want to get ahead of that ball, so to speak, then it makes sense to sit down and decide what your next steps are. If you're going to shop, plan on doing at least 15 to 30 minutes. Technology has kicked in to where it doesn't take days and hours and weeks to even shop. With the agency that I've been a part of, we can shop customers within 5 to 10 minutes, and they give them the best rates and the best companies without costing them an arm and a leg. That's the cool part of having an agent that works with multiple companies, especially if they've invested into the tech side. You've got something that is available to you that can quickly pump out quotes while talking to somebody on the phone or through text, whatever the case is, to where nowadays it's gotten so much faster, it's just the time span has dropped drastically. So questions you should ask yourself. 1, does your policy still meet the needs that you have today? Are you getting the coverage that you think you have, or has that changed? Do you need less coverage? Do you need more coverage? Is there a higher risk? The biggest thing that we are scared of is lawsuits. If you have libel or slander, everything's online nowadays. So if we say the wrong thing, what is somebody going to come back and try to sue me for? If you do the wrong move, injure the wrong person, there's a lot of risk that's out there, and it's just growing. It's not gotten easier. It's gotten larger and harder to overcome. So there's a lot of scenarios in that case. How are you moving? That's a big thing. If you're moving, that's a good reason for you to know that you probably should shop around. If you are moving in the same zip code, maybe not so much. If you have a local agent, maybe you like that person and you want to stay with them, then there's no reason for you to actually shop that. Have you had a claim or a ticket? Now that renewal's coming up on your current policy, and it's time for you to see that increase that they're going to give you. If you got more than a 15% increase, then it's likely that it's time to look at different options. That's not to say that companies are cheaper than another. It means that you're a different fit for different companies. I've got a really great example of that. I have a person I've been quoting through text, oddly enough, and it's lots of text, but they were paying with company A a certain amount. They had basic coverages. I upgraded the coverages and got them at a better coverage limit, but the price that they're going to pay is a lot less expensive. Because I've been able to shop them across multiple companies, I found that company B is going to be a better fit than company A. That's not to say that company A isn't a good company. It just means that the person that we're dealing with, based on where they live, their age, their lifestyle, how many people they have in the house, how many cars they have, all of that type of materials, that profile is a better fit for company B. You shouldn't always go with the cheapest price because you may get what you pay for. And a lot of the times it's not worth the extra time and risk to go after something that is unknown. This is the part where you've got to be very careful, because what agents typically do, and I've been guilty of it in the past, is if you're leaving one agent for another, let's say you're leaving agent A to agent B, right? Same thing, company A to company B. And what's going to happen is you're going to call to cancel, and they're going to ask you to review their current one with you to make sure there's no flaws. Sometimes it's the smallest thing, because we know that customers are on edge, that you're a little bit scared to switch to that new agent. And it just takes the tiniest little problem to make you not want to do it. You could be saving $1,000 over here, but if I find out that you don't have road service and towing, oh, that guy doesn't care about you. He's just ripping you off. And so now you're scared, oh man, what else is wrong? So it really makes sense to talk with your agent first. That's what I always recommend. If you have one that you like and trust, tell them you're going to shop. Hey, I'm shopping around, the price is getting crazy. I need you to review my policy and make sure all the coverages are correct. You can take that if they don't get you the deal you want and move over to company B or agent B, that you can compare those coverages to make sure they're the same or better. In my scenario, I was able to up their coverages, so everything ended up being a way better option. It's just they have to decide whether I'm worth the decision between the person they've been working with and myself. So is it the right time to shop? It really kind of is, at least in the next 1 to 5 months. If the inflation hits you, and it's going to, your next renewal is coming up. You don't have to wait. You can switch before then, but it wouldn't hurt to check what your options. Rates are increasing, and it's likely that yours are going to go up. It's just part of the inflation, and the insurance is going to follow suit, just with all of the other industries, between going out to eat, to going to a movie, to anything that you can think of right now. Prices have raised pretty drastically, at least 5% or more in the industry, and it's just something that it's smart to get ahead of. If you don't have a direction of where you're looking, there is a company that I work with that's a sponsor. I'll link them below. It's Cover Insurance, where they can shop up to 30 different companies, and it's probably one of the best routes to start with. It's a great place to start so you guys have an idea of what companies are competitive in your area. Just like we said, you're a different fit for a different profile. Well, Cover's going to do that. They're going to match all of the profile settings just like I would as an agent, and they're going to connect you with the correct company. So the other question is, how often should you shop insurance? Well, we just kind of mentioned that when things change, you should probably look. That's one way of looking at it. The other one is every 3 to 5 years, it doesn't hurt to at least check 1 or 2 companies just to see if there's any major changes. Otherwise, if you really just want to keep up to date on everything, go ahead and click the subscribe button, because I'm going to announce it when things change. So far, a lot of it is changing, which is causing a lot of this moving around in different companies, which is a little bit weird because a lot of you don't know the back end of insurance, to where most insurance agents are in their 60s. That means that most of your agents are going to retire soon. That's a good and a bad. That's good because the younger people are going to have the opportunity to step up, but a negative for you if you love that agent that's in that 60 to 65 range. They're likely not going to be the agent that you're going to be with in 3 to 5 years. The bottom line is every company uses its own rating system. Whether you're fit for this company today or that company tomorrow, it makes sense for you to, every time a major change happens in your life, inflation being one of them, it makes sense to check other options. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen a rate increase already, and the company that you're with, if you've been happy with the way that the rates have been. When's the last time that you shopped your car insurance? Is it the time for you now? If you are going to shop, like I mentioned, the cover is below, but I have a link to how you can do it online as well, and then also cross-referencing different agencies and what options there are for you. So go ahead and check that video out. Otherwise, I'm Mark with Think Insurance. I'll see you in the next one.